I just saw the video of a woman who said that her husband works 64 hours a week, and on his off days, she wants him and her and their kids to go out and do things as a family, but he'd rather stay at home. As you go through the comment section, you see people saying, yeah, I agree. That's a shit ton of hours. He deserves to want to stay home and rest. If I was him, I'd come home and collapse and you'd never hear from me until I had to wake up the next day. But I disagree. It's one of the reasons why you hear that saying where men want a wife and kids, but they don't want to be a husband and a father. This is why I am team, if you don't want to have kids, then don't. Once you get married, once you have children, one of the sacrifices that you have to make is when you are tired, you still gotta be present. Now, I'm not saying both of his off days, he should be out and about, or that he should be out all day, every day, with his kids. But he needs to make some time for his family. And I know somebody's probably already commented and they have not made it this far. And they're going to say, well, I would just do things without him, with just me and the kids. And my response to that is two things. The disadvantage for the father, the dad, is that a lot of times once we get used to just depending on ourselves, it's a downward spiral from there, because then we slowly start to gravitate out of our lives, because then we're like, oh, I can do this by myself, I can do that by myself, I can do this by myself, oh, we're actually having fun. And then the divorce came out of nowhere, because we start to realize we can do shit without you. What do we need you for? And then the disadvantage for the woman is, I get it, you can totally just live your life without this man, but it would break my heart that I married this man, I have a house with this man, I have kids with this man, and he is not mentally and emotionally present with us. So it'd be kind of sad that I'm now having to figure out how to do shit by myself and with just me and the kids, and their father is absent, even though he lives in the home. I was just talking about this with one of my friends, and she said that Mother's Day, that's the most busy day at restaurants. That's when people are buying things to give to their mom. It's one of the most celebrated holidays, at least in America. And then on Father's Day, it's kind of like, oh, here's a pack of socks, my guy. And I was telling her, a lot of these fathers, even though they live in the home, they're not present. So, of course, they're going to get a pack of socks, if that, and a, toodaloo. When I was first starting as a single mom and building my life, there were days when I would come home and just want to slip into a coma. But I still had to make dinner for my kids. I still had to help them with their homework. I still had to make sure they got their bath. I still had to make sure that they knew that I love them and give them time and attention. You might say, well, he's working. He deserves to have the time. Most of America is working. Okay? You know who's going through a hard time right now? Everybody. You know who needs a break right now? Everybody. And a lot of these men, they don't change these behaviors because they know you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to do anything about it. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. And if you dare say anything, you're being ungrateful, because I work 64 hours a week, so you shouldn't have a problem with it. This is another reason why I say a lot of men just marry women, because they know that they're going to be the ones to take care of everything, and they can just go on with their lives and do whatever they want to do without making considerations for their partner, for their children, because that wife, she's going to be the one to take care of everything. So no, you don't get a pass. At least one of those off days that you have, bare minimum a couple of hours, y'all go to the park. You need to spend time investing in your wife and in your children. If you are tired 24/7 and you never have time for me, you never have time for our kids, you should probably be by yourself. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but you should probably, like I say, once you said I do, once y'all had those kids, y'all signed on to the fact that you would have to make the sacrifice of giving quality time even when you don't feel like it. But a lot of these men thought that they could just have that wife and have those kids and wash their hands of the whole situation. No. If you want to be an actual husband and father, it's going to take some sacrifice. But if you just want a wife and kids, you might end up lonely. You might end up single. And then you can sleep and have all the off time to yourself that you want.